start.
Hello everyone, my name is Anupa and today I am here to introduce our generous alumni to our audience, and they have joined here on the occasion of International Women's Day. They are doing really great, so it's our pleasure to introduce you to our audience. So they have agreed to join irrespective of their busy schedule. I thank you for this. And let me take you to the first student. And our first student is Dipali Naik. Hello, Dipali. And
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing very well. I'm really excited for this, and hopefully, I can help the other peers and colleagues from coming over to
Yeah.
different parts of universities across world. And well, it's
Yeah.
about women empowerment, so let's get this done and talking.
Yes, yes, Deepali. Welcome to the session. And Deepali has already completed MBA in sports management in year 2022, and she is currently working with government local council as youth sports and recreation officer.
That
Congratulations,
is true.
Deepali,
Thank you
and
so
welcome
much.
to the session. Let me take you to the second student, and she is Anaika Maniyar. Anaika, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome,
It's so nice to meet
Anaika.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome,
you. Thank you.
Anaika. And Anaika has completed Masters in Marketing from Deakin University in the year 2022.
Yep.
And she is working with Levi's Australia
Yeah.
as website coordinator. Many
Thank you.
congratulations, Anaika,
Thank you. Thank you so
and
much.
welcome to the session.
Thank
These
you.
students have joined from Australia and USA. So Deepali and Anaika have joined from Australia, and we have one more student alumni who is Sakshi. Sakshi Dushane. Sakshi, would you unmute yourself?
Yes. Hi, Mom. Nice to meet
Hello.
you.
Yeah, same here. Welcome, Sakshi. And Sakshi has completed Masters in Chemical Engineering from UMass Lowell University, popularly known as University of Massachusetts at Lowell. And she has completed her Masters in Chemical Engineering in the year 2022, and she is working with Vertex Pharmaceutical Company as Manufacturing Technical Specialist Officer. Congratulations,
Yes.
Sakshi,
Thank
and
you.
nice to have you. Thank you for accepting our request, irrespective of their busy schedules. These girls have taken some time out to just connect to us, and they will be sharing their valuable experiences with respect to study and work abroad. So, without further ado, I request Amit sir to proceed with the session.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Anupa ma'am. So let's start with our questions. Let's start with Dipali. First, Dipali, you had been to Australia and you are there since last 4 years almost. So I will go back to your study time when you were studying at Griffith University. You were in Griffith University, and so overall experience of the campus, and mainly, do you feel that campuses in Australia are safe for girl students?
Absolutely, sir. I think the answer to your first question would be, it's very different when you see virtually. Like you have a lot of expectations when you're sitting here on your desk back in India and looking through the images of how the campus looks like, how the property is, or what sort of activities and facilities, recreation point of view. Because I'm a sports athlete, I just love sports. So I just wanted to see what sort of, opportunities they have or internship opportunities they have for young kids or young girls like me. Well, it did stand up to my expectations and marks. So when I was there, I came in the leap year 2020. So, well, we know there was a bit rush of heat there when COVID came in. But luckily, a few more months before all the madness started, I think I had the chance and the privilege to explore a lot of, the facilities and different opportunities they had for us. Like I joined a multiple clubs. I headed a few badminton clubs, and I my main idea was just to get the experience of enhancing my capabilities or my learnings, because I've done my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, so there was nothing I do that I could connect irrespective of just communicating with people, and I think it really stood up to whatever I was thinking of in my head back when I was in India. And when it comes to safety, I think it's really good, especially in Australia, because there's like this time too where everything closes well in hand before 5, because in India we are so used to getting out of our homes around 6 or 7. It's really safe because I think they're very accepting, and there's this culture for diversity and inclusion. Like, they're very on top of their games when they want to include people from different walks of life of different countries. And I think it's a really good platform and a really good country, and it's very accepting, and I think it's really safe when it comes to female engagement and female socializing outside of normal working hours.
Great, Dipali. So, Anaika, this is about Griffith University. So, what was your experience in Deccan? Was the campus safe for girls?
I think Dipali will agree with me. I moved here in 2020, right a week before when COVID came in. We were told to sit in our house, and everything was locked down here for like 8 months. So I got only 1 week of chance to go to my university, attend classes, but then for that 1 or 2 weeks, I found that it was very safe at any point of time. Even if I had a class at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it was very safe for me to even walk from my house to the university. And I had no issues with that. And otherwise, even my professors, the students that were in my group, they were very engaging, and there was um, no kind of exclusion or anything. It was very inclusive, they were very engaging, and it was a nice experience.
So, we can say there is no discrimination between girls and boys, Anaika?
Not at all, not at all. Nah, there's
Okay.
nothing as such. Yeah.
Okay. Sakshi, coming to you about the campuses in the US, what are the facilities they give for safety? They provide a lot of facilities for girls or even for anyone. So, what facilities your campus had as a girl student?
So again, they had recreation center. I didn't live. I lived on off campus. So but my friends.
Sakshi, just unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. So they had many facilities. The police department was always around. Like the university police was like really close. I had a situation where like myself and my other two roommates, we had a situation with our fourth roommate where we had to go to the ISS office, like which is the International Student Office, and then just because I mean we were just like having some roommate issues. So we contacted the police department. Just like I'm not like scaring anyone, but just like how helpful they were, how helpful the International Student Office was. They immediately assisted us. They sorted us immediately, and then I mean, it was like really safe. We felt a sense of belonging there. Because like usually like you're like scared because like you are an international student, and you don't. I mean, sometimes you feel that you're not heard, right? But really very helpful. They used to like call us at night, like, hey, are you guys okay? Is everything fine? Is the situation like normal now? And everything. So they were like on their like very they're like on their alert mode, I can say, just to like take care of us. The recreation center was there. My friends, they said that the dorms were like fantastic. The cafeterias and everything, they were like always 24 hours open. You are like you can immediately contact your professors if you have like any doubts or like any questions. So I didn't really have any issues throughout my 1.5 years of masters, because I did my first semester from India because it was peak of COVID at that time. But yeah, like my 2 years of masters was definitely a lot of fun. It was my first, like, as you know, like it snows a lot in Boston, so it was definitely amazing. I used to work at the university dining, so my shift used to end at 10 p.m. So all the Indian students used to like, it was, I remember there was a blizzard one day and we all were like having fun coming to our homes, but it was like very safe. So definitely very like one of the best years of my life.
Okay. Now, again, during studies, are there any restrictions on girls, like the hostel timings or the dorm timings or something which you cannot do or something like that at your universities?
I don't think so. I mean, there are definitely rules. I am not sure about that, but I don't think any like there are any time restrictions as far as like you're following the rules, whatever the hostels have. I did not have any because I was living on off campus. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool as far as like you're following the rules and regulations.
Correct. Same thing was in Australia. Deepali, like, was there any restriction for timings to go home or come out of hostel or something like that?
Absolutely not, sir. I think the best part of I didn't stay in the university accommodation because it was expensive. So I really wanted to stay with some girls who are actually already living in Australia, so that they could impart their extra knowledge and information about how I would save up on groceries and all those sorts of things. But I think there's no such thing as restriction or time bound boundaries or anything of that sort that was implied on anybody of us. And as far as my knowledge goes, I think a lot of my friends who lived on the on campus accommodation also didn't face any familiar situation. They were just really cool about timings, and it's all about how you take care of yourself at the end of the day, because you are by yourself and you need to be responsible of how you accommodate yourself with the situation and surrounding around you. Because I feel even if you say if there's this place which is safe enough for all girls or even boys for that matter, I think it's really important that you know which area you are going into or what areas are safe for you to enter after a particular time zone or after a period of time. So
Okay, great. Anaika, you must have done friendship with a lot of girls all over the world, right? Like especially girls from Australia, those who are
Yeah.
citizens of Australia. So, what differences you found in girls from Australia and girls in India?
Uh, I don't think I found any such difference. It's just we come from a very, um, I wouldn't say strict, but we come from a very traditional background. We are supposed to do some things differently, but then I don't know. It's not very different from other girls. Yeah, as Dipali said that you are responsible for your own health and safety. I think yeah, it doesn't matter where you are. You are responsible for your own self.
Deepali, like while mixing up with girls from Australia, was there a cultural difference or anything you found, or was it difficult to get mixed up with people or girls from other parts of the world?
well, initially I found it a tad bit difficult because you're dealing with somebody who's never experienced or never been outside of Australia for that matter, especially Australian girls and others that I encountered with. So I was living with two Nepalese girls. Although they share so much familiarity with the traditions and all those sorts of things, the thinking or the mindset was so different because they were already accustomed to how the the Australian culture is, or the way or the walks of life of everyday Australian. And it just took me a little bit of time because it was hard for me to understand their accent. Some of them have a boogie accent, and it's very not familiar, because I'm used to speaking just the normal English in everyday life, and I'm so happy that I was actually into brought up in an environment where I could speak and talk in English. Because if not, I see some students did struggle when they come to talking terms with Australians, because they are so fast and they use some slang words in their in their everyday conversation, where if you're not up to the mark, you don't really understand what they're saying. So just to familiarize or just to be with those bunch of of peoples where you actually talk to them and understand, oh, okay, so this is the word that they use for afternoon, or this is the word that they use, to do something or an activity of that sort. It makes you feel welcome, and they feel like you belong here. So I made sure that I was familiarizing myself with all these acronyms and all these little slang words, or some short words, just to feel that just to be with them, or just to feel that you can be friends with me, because I understand the way you do things in an Aussie style. That's how they say it here. So yeah, I think it was really cool.
Right, correct. So now we go for the job part of it, like jobs, because you all studied for a couple of years and then you started working in the respective country. So my question to Sakshi is, you're working now in a pharma company, I guess, right? You're with a pharma company.
Yes.
So what is your job role, Sakshi? What exactly you do at a workplace?
Yeah, so as I said that I graduated in May 2022, and then I started working as a contractor in August 2022. Again, in the same company, I was a contractor, and then last year in May, that is 2023, they hired me as a full-time employee. So when I started, I was basically in the reliability engineering team. So I used to take care of like all spare parts and everything, like basically the mechanical side of the company. And then when that was in August, and then in October I slowly moved towards the GMP side of the company. So my senior manager, she was moving to a new team. So my team basically is a brand new team. It's manufacturing technical operations. So she moved there, and then she was like, "I'm moving to another team. So would you like to join me there?" I was like, "Yeah, wherever, take me wherever you're going, but just like keep me with you." Because like she's very experienced and very smart. So she hired me full time. So basically, if anything goes against GMP activities, so all the documentation, investigation, deviations, and technical writing, meeting with SMEs like the subject matter experts, and then interviewing them, like what happened, why, what went wrong, and then all documentation of it, and why is it okay, what are the corrective and preventive actions that we need to take. And recently I started taking meetings with the leadership there. So like all directors and CEOs, and like they are there in the meeting, and then I represent my team, where like what deviations, how many deviations we have opened throughout the week, and what are the corrective actions and preventive actions that we need to take. If everyone is on the same page, does like is the manufacturing quality, like do they align, and they are okay with the changes and everything. So that's what I currently do.
Oh, great. And you must be having your male counterparts or your other colleagues, those who are males. So, do you feel any discrimination as a woman employee there?
Not at all. I feel, to be honest, very valued. I feel that my ideas, whatever ideas that I propose, they are being heard. My boss, basically, my manager is a guy, so he makes sure that my ideas are like being valued, and then I'm being respected. So it's him, and then it's me after, and then other contractors. So he recently, like, he had a few people report to me, and then he's like, "I know you recently graduated, you need to learn the management skills and everything. I'll just be with me, I'll teach you everything." So I never felt anything like that. The other people who report to me, they all are guys. So I never had those issues. It's pretty cool and very nice. I feel that they respect me a lot.
Great, great. Aneka, you work in Melbourne, right, at the moment? So,
Yeah.
what is your job role there? What exactly you do?
So I work as a website coordinator at Levi's, and I've been here for 6 months now, so it's not I've been here long. But my role is basically making sure the products on the website have the right title and they are in the right category, making sure we hit our targets, and then working on different projects. So it's mostly related to the website.
Okay. And yeah, one more thing is, how many female employees are there in your company?
So we have 40 employees, and I think we only have 4 male employees
Wow.
in in our company. Yes. So, and it's amazing. So it's like mostly female-based company.
Okay, okay. So there are a lot
Yeah.
of opportunities for the women in the company.
Yeah. A lot of opportunities, and they're very helpful towards everyone. And it's not like the male is valued more, but then even in a company where there are more male employees, you get valued.
Okay, okay. Dipali, you work with the sports authority, right? The sports authority. So it's basically a government kind of job.
It is, so it's basically every local council or state government has their own representative body that works in that discipline. So my job is youth sport and recreation officer. So I'm also like the youth officer. So basically in a small remote area which is called as Winton, I do look after the well-being and overall development of all the youths or the young boys and girls in town. So it's basically empowerment or basically getting them job ready and organizing some youth workshop skills and different activities in this area just to get them ready and just to step their big foot out in the world. And the other, which was my main interest, was sport and recreation officer. So it's basically applying for grants. There's some facilities here that need upgrading, so we do apply for grants. So that is my job basically, to get new programs, to introduce new sports, coordinate with the facilitators and have them some sort of funds provided so that they can get all these activities on board for the young boys and girls. And I also do chair yoga for the old. I guess the Indian in me is very enthusiastic about introducing yoga here in town. So it's small, but let's see how far it goes. Yeah, but there's not one tangent to it. I think there's multifolds of opportunities and things that I could do. So my manager is really open to me working on different like options or some activities, may it be arts and crafts, it could be sports or any other recreational activity like aqua yoga or aqua aerobics. So this is something I really love to do because it also gets me going, and I also participate in these events as long as I'm also event coordinating it. So I think this is a whole different scenario and a whole different work experience for me, especially here in Australia. So it's going good for me so far.
As far as possible, sports are concerned, sports is basically a male-dominated field because everywhere, like any sports, generally we see mostly male. So how is Australia? Whether they promote sports in women as well, or it's still a male-dominated in Australia as well?
I would like to differ on this because I feel when it comes to Australia and women in sports in Australia, they're definitely not biased. Because this recently, Football Australia, the soccer championship, where Matildas, what they are called prominently, they showed such a prominent and such an exemplary show out there. Well, they didn't end up in the first three positions, but I feel like every Australian was so proud of each and every women that participated. And I think they're also focusing a lot on getting their funds together so that the girls can participate. Recently, I had the opportunity of applying for an active women and girls funds program. So it's more to do with encouraging the young girls and women to participate in sports and to maybe escalate them in a way where they could reach state level, national level, or international level. And I think it's really good to see that women are not just, participating in some sports where we, how we categorize sports as this is a male dominated sport or this is a female dominated sport. Call it cricket, call it hockey, call it swimming. Australia is doing really well, and this was one of the main motives I had when in the back of my head when I was thinking about pursuing my career in sports management. And why not Australia? Because Australia is the capital of sports in the world. So yeah, that's how it is.
Great, great. So now we move on to further things. Like basically, as I told you in the beginning, that it's basically to motivate young girls from India. We are conducting this kind of event. So I will ask Anaika. Anaika, how will you advise, or what you will advise to the young girls from India, those who are aspiring to studying in Australia? What kind of advice you will provide them?
I would like to start with do not hesitate at all. Just if you feel like you want to pursue something in Australia or any other country for that matter, go for it. It's amazing. Yes, it's very challenging. You have to stay away from your friends, you have to stay away from your family, you have to adopt new ways of living life, doing everything on your own. There's no help provided here. But then on the other end, you also get to work, you also get to study, be independent, and just live your life, honestly.
Okay, great. Sakshi,
Yes, sir.
are you happy about your decision of going to US all the way and studying there?
I'm definitely, I think that this is my one of the best decisions that I have ever taken in my life, to pack my entire life in a bag and move to US. Um, yeah, I wouldn't trade that happiness with anything in the world.
Okay, and what advice you have for the young girls, those who have dreams to study in the US?
Um, I would say that don't believe in everything what you see on Instagram or like any other social platform that, oh, I'm going to go to US and I'm going to live like this. There are definitely going to be many challenges. There are going to be happy days, there are going to be challenging days, there are going to be bad days that when you feel that why are you doing this? But it's definitely worth it. When you earn your own self-earned money, that happiness is like next level. So it's definitely worth it. Just don't lose hopes. It's going to be again challenging that you have to like stay away from your family and then friends, as Anika said, but it's worth it, definitely.
Okay, correct. And Dipali, what advice you will give to parents of young girls? Because we see a lot of parents being concerned about sending girl child abroad for studies as compared to male children. So, what advice you will give to parents, those like who are in dilemma whether to send girls abroad or not to send abroad for studies?
Well, I think it's definitely a big crack for every other participant or every other girl that who wants to pursue their education in abroad. It's a really massive plethora of opportunities for each and everybody. But some things that I would like to like, I'm agreeing to both this what Anaika and Sakshi are saying about studying abroad. I think it's absolutely right. But when it comes to parents, I think all the parents planning on sending their kids or daughters to Australia should do a bit of an extensive, thorough research of what universities their daughters are going to, of what how the course is going to help them in the future, if there's a scope or not in that particular line and in that country especially, and what are the futuristic plans. Sometimes you plan on just studying there and coming back, but I know how it works. Like everybody here would agree with what I'm going to say. When you come here and you understand how everything works is so different, and you're actually getting so much out of it because you're helping your parents in a way, just helping send them some money or anything, any activity they would like to do, which you felt you were incapable of doing when you were back in India. So I just think that there needs to be a thorough research of all the activities or all the research, the reputation, because it has got a lot to do when once you finish with your studies and what jobs you'll be applying for, and the connections that you're going to build out from your university. Because like we are all here an alumni of Akshay Study Abroad, we also an alumni of a certain university, so it also replicates, or even before we go for an interview, when they see that this person has done so and so from this university, it already creates an impression. So a little bit of what the parents could do on their part is, maybe if they're not well versed with technology or all those sorts of things, they could actually talk to agents or study consultants and ask them what the career progress line looks like, or what the opportunities looks like, if this is something that the kid wants to do. Or the other thing would be, if they're planning on staying there for long, what are the visa requirements, how does it work if they want to plan on staying longer, if it's easy or hard, or if what they're planning on studying is going to help them reach their potential point. So I think these little things are really essential from a parent's point of view, to understand that some point of time the kids or girls would have the change of mind and would think that, okay, this is what I want to do, or maybe come back again to India if they felt like, okay, I need my family connection, and I think what I wanted to achieve has been achieved, so I need to go back to my roots and then do something of my own back there. But if not, then this is something that you need to choose, and then this is something that you need to follow. So the parents need to be sort of prepared, because at one given point the parents would want their kids to come back, but they should be very strong enough to let the give the child the wings, and she'll definitely flourish, especially a girl child. So
Great, 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 Dipali. Now I want to ask about your future plans. So Sakshi, as you are currently working in the US for a couple of years now, and what are your future plans?
So my previous company, like I said, like I was a contractor, they did file for my H-1B visa. It got picked, but then so it was like around the same time that I got a full time, and then my H-1B got picked. So I chose the full time because that was once in a lifetime opportunity and in a very good company. So I chose that. So I still have 2 more years for my work visa to get like picked in the H-1B lottery. So this year my company, they have filed for my H-1B. So I'm hoping that it gets picked this year. If not, then again I have another year. If it gets picked, then it's good that I'll have a work visa. If not, then I'll definitely plan for CPT. And then I definitely, like, as of now, I don't want to come back to India. I want to stay there, work there, and just progress. Yeah, that's the plan as of now.
Want to stay in the US for a while now, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Anaika, what are your future plan? Melbourne is still comfortable?
Yes, definitely. When I first moved here, it was very challenging. I thought I would honestly, once I get my degree, I would definitely go back. But then now that I'm stable and I have a job and everything, I feel like I'll be living here for at least I think the rest of my life. And I don't see myself coming back to India, so I'll probably be filing for my PR and yeah, saying yeah.
Yes. Great. Deepali, what are your future plans?
Well, I filed for my PR. I'm just waiting to give my PT, which is planned somewhere around this month. So um, I think I would stay here for another 5 years, but I'm a little family-oriented girl. So, and also depends on my partner to be. I think I would more likely to be, settled back in India because I think once I've got that experience and I know how it's working and all those sorts of things, I would definitely want to do something back in India in the same experience and given the knowledge and skills I've acquired here in my domain, I'd like to go back and do something of that. But again, at the same time, because I know, and I think Anaika would definitely agree with what she's saying. This is such a big, even with the job that we are doing, and we're getting so much out of it, especially when we, want to do something back home. I would not want to give up on the opportunity of letting go Australia really soon. So my plan is to get PR and then go back home and then try and toggle my way back and forth so that I don't lose up on my residency and I still have some sort of income coming in from maybe getting a home here and then putting it on an Airbnb and all those sorts of things. So that's a futuristic plan, and that's how I think it will work in few years.
Correct. So very good plans, I think, and yeah, definitely Deepali. India needs girls like you come back and contribute. Not just Deepali, everyone. Even you can stay in Australia, Naika. You can still contribute in the
Obviously.
empowerment of girls from India because India needs that, and India also coming up with a lot of new initiatives by which a lot of girls are being attracted. For example, now banks are giving 0.5% less interest for girl students studying abroad, and yeah, a lot of schemes are coming up. So definitely in near future we will see a lot of Indian girls going abroad and studying, working like all of you. Now I'll come to the last question because it's almost 35 minutes now. It is regarding your families, and I know because I know all of your families. I have met them, your parents or whoever supported you. So my question will be very simple for everyone. Like especially we'll start with maybe Dipali first again. Dipali, to whom you will dedicate your success and the achievements what you have today in Australia? To whom you will dedicate this?
So I think you've lived the journey of me coming here in Australia and all the initial process. But I think the main credit of whatever is happening or whatever good I'm doing in my life and contributing in every small way is totally to my parents because I know how much criticism they received when they when they discussed this with their families, with their close knits and everybody, and everybody was of the traditional opinion of not maybe putting all that money and all the finances into education because like they've heard and they've seen that once they go abroad, they just want to settle abroad and they don't want to come back and don't want to do anything for their parents. And I think that's just something that needs to be changed. Like the mindset needs to be changed, because I'm so glad, because my parents are so happy right now. The transition that I did from engineering to management, and that to in sports marketing, which is not a very prominent field in India as we speak. I think it was a big challenge and a big I think they're very strong enough to decide that they wanted me to pursue and do something like this out of the traditional mindset of any girl child or anybody for that matter to be in the STEM line, like science, technology, management and engineering of the side. But I really wholeheartedly dedicate all my success and everything that I'm doing good so far to my parents. I think there's nobody else, and of course you, because I remember how in the nick of time how I got my visa, and then how I had to fasten up all the things to get everything sorted in the nick of time, and I didn't sleep because I had the flight to catch up next day, because they I mean, it was just such an hassle, but I'm so glad it went all smooth. Like they say, if it's meant to be, it will be. And it so happened for me, because what happened in the next 6 months? COVID hit in and Australia closed its borders. So I'm just so glad that it went out so well for me. And I'm so glad and happy that they, trusted me with this process. And they are happy what I'm doing with my life right now. So just, yeah.
Anaika, who is your pillar in all this success? Who supported you the most?
I would 100% dedicate my entire journey and all my success to my mom, because we live in Devlali, so it's very far from Nashik. It literally takes like 1 hour to travel, and she would not think twice traveling all the way from Devlali to Nashik. And I think we used to travel like every week and come to the office to meet Neha and probably ask her how's the process going and everything. But yeah, she was there from the beginning to the end, and she's still there. She still supports me in every my decision, and even with me not wanting to go back, she's still supportive. She just wants to come here, honestly. So yeah,
Great.
I would, yeah.
The last question to Sakshi again. Sakshi, yes, I know your background and the way you struggled in India as well, going abroad. So, to whom you will dedicate your entire success to?
So I was very hesitant as a kid to like tell this to everyone, but now where I am in my life right now, I proudly say that I've been raised by a single parent, and I wouldn't have been done it without my mom and her side, like my maternal grandparents' support, and my uncles, like my mamas and everyone. So definitely I owe all my success to my mom and my grandparents and my uncles. Again, my other family members, they had issues because I'm the only child, and then like who's gonna take care of my mom because she's gonna be alone here. And then but still my mom did not hesitate. She was like, just believe in yourself, chase your dreams. I'm sure that I believe in you, and I'm sure you're going to do best. And as you know, my background, I was not getting any loan in India because of like I didn't have any mortgage or anything to like as a guarantee to like to for banks and everything. So I remember my grandfather is not here anymore, but I remember he gave me every document, everything that he owns. He handed it over to me, and he's like, just go live your life, do well in your life. I'm sure you're going to do your best. So I miss him a lot. It's been a year that he left us. So I'm definitely, if like my family wouldn't have been here, I wouldn't have been where I am right now. So everything I owe to them. And the sense of being a responsible daughter, like my other cousins, like they're in 12th standard, 10th, and they're like so inspired by me. They're like, I want to go to US, or like I want to do what Didi is doing right now. That feeling makes me like really happy that I have done something in my life. So
Great.
I feel really happy.
Great, Sakshi, and sorry to hear about your loss, about your grandfather. I know him, like your mom used to tell about him to me. So it's
Yeah.
sorry to hear this actually. And so yeah, that's about all the questions and all, and very happy to interact with all of you, all the three of you, and the kind of success or kind of achievements you have today, and I'm sure you'll be going further ahead to this, not just in Australia or US, but even in India or all other parts of the world. And you are not just making yourself or your family proud about you, but you are making all of us proud by doing this. Like, we give you examples like you to everyone, and we give it with proud. We don't give it in the sense of marketing, but because we don't need more marketing now, because what we have done, and because of students like you know, ASSC doesn't need any kind of marketing, because our students have done so much good in all parts of the world. So that is something which is incredible. And more importantly, I was in the US recently in August 2023, and I interacted with many professors there, like professors, PhD holders, and all. And I asked them about the students, especially girl students from India, and their opinion is very, very positive about Indian girls. And I know that is the same in Australia as well, and all parts of the world, because Indian girls are sincere, they are honest, they are hardworking, and more importantly, they are more culturally rooted to their families, and no, they are somebody who is trustworthy for them. So always professors over there, they always like to work with Indian girls, maybe as an assistant or maybe as graduate assistant or even any job places, part-time jobs also. And you all will agree with this, that yes, Indian girls are looked up as somebody who is really good to work with, or really good to hire for any kind of position. So that is something which is honor for all of us here. And so with this, I wish you all the best. Dipali, Anaika, and Sakshi, you want to tell something? Because before Anupam ma'am will conclude, anybody wants to say some finishing lines? Maybe any one of you. Dipali, maybe?
I'd just like to thank everybody, and especially Anaika and Sakshi, for sharing their insights. I think it's really helped me, to think that, it's not just me. There's all these girls that are doing so well in their life and have actually become such successful. They've made themselves a successful product out of what they've been through. I'm pretty sure they've each had their own struggle, but to look them here and then share their experience, it really just fills my heart out to know that, along with me, there's other girls who are trying to empower other girls. So this is like that platform, and I really like to thank you, sir and ma'am, and everybody else, Neha ma'am, who got us accustomed to this, and then we could have this plethora to share our views and opinions of how the other young girls can actually also see and look up to us, and then share their stories in the future. So I think it's just the best.
Great, great. Anaika, any concluding line?
Yeah, as Bali said, I'm really happy that I got to meet both these girls, and yeah, it will definitely, this is so motivating for me and will obviously help me um, take all the challenges with pride. Yeah.
Great, great. And Sakshi, and concluding lines?
Yes, it was definitely great to see you and mom again. Like after I used to remember she used to like she taught us verbal English and everything. I'm seeing her after a long time. And again, I met you last year, and it's again I'm like really happy to see you. I'm really happy to meet Anaika and Dipali as well. Um, and thank you so much that you feel that we can inspire the new generation who are like aspiring to go to US. So that's another achievement I feel that we three have achieved. And thank you so much for believing in us and supporting us throughout. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you, all of you, and wish you all the best. Over to Anupa ma'am for concluding the event. Thank you, and see you very soon in India.
All right. Thank you so much, girls. It was a very fantastic session, and thank you very much for making it so informative. Like, you shared lots of valuable insights about safety, education, work, and overall life, about girl students while they study abroad or work abroad. And I'm sure that aspiring students would definitely find it very encouraging. Aspiring students, especially girl students, will find it very encouraging because they have your set examples in front of them, and that's how 21st century girls look like: confident, determined, hardworking, sincere, Thank you so much, girls. Thank you for being so generous and taking time out to share your experience with us. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Wish you all very best luck in all your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Amit sir. So, my name is Anupa, and today I am here to introduce you to our alumni who have joined us from the UK. So, they have joined us on the occasion of International Women Day, and here they will be sharing their experiences with respect to work and study abroad. So thank you so much for joining and taking some time out to share these valuable insights with respect to your study and work. It's going to be very much helpful, especially for aspiring students, especially girl students. So thank you so much and welcome to the session. And firstly, I would like to introduce you to Bhagyashri Vidhate. And Bhagyashri has completed her MSc in Artificial Intelligence from Queensberry University of London in the year 2022, and she is currently working in London in JRL Group as 3D graphic developer assistant. Many congratulations, Bhagyashri, and welcome to the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Then our second candidate is Miss Neha Pardesi. Neha has completed her master's in biotech as a sandwich year, and she has completed her master's from Nottingham Trent University in the year 2022, and she is going to start her work soon at a very exciting place, that is at Cambridge University Hospital NHS, and she is going to work as clinical research data manager. Many congratulations, Neha, and welcome to the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your warm welcome.
Thank you, girls. Thank you so much for joining. Have fun. I request Amit sir to proceed with the session.
Okay, so welcome back, and let's start with the session. Uh, uh, I'm like very excited to meet two girls, those who are working in the UK, because we have sent many students in the UK, many girl students also, and recently also, like last year, 2023, also we have sent around 50 students to UK, and out of them, I think around 25 are girls, so 50% girls and 50% boys. So girls are really, increasing in numbers day by day. So definitely that is an advantage. So we'll start with first your college life, your university life in the UK. First question, those questions will be about it. So firstly, I will like to ask Bhagyashri, as you are a part of Queen Mary, which is a very good university in London. How safe was your campus for girl students?
Many of them think that East London is not safe. So my university was in East London, and many of them think that East London is not quite safe. But the university campus was really like spacious, and it had like security all around. There are web cameras everywhere, even outside the university, near the roads and everything. And so that's not a problem there. Talking about the area, about the university, it was quite maintained well, and like it was like I could see everyone around, even at late night when I used to go to the libraries. Even then, the area was safe to travel. So it's not kind like it's not safe, but yeah, you have to take care of yourselves anyhow. So that was it.
So there were no serious crimes, especially against women, right, in the campus.
No.
So it was pretty safe for you and all other girl students, not just from India, but again from other countries as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Coming to you, Neha, Nottingham. I had been to Nottingham in 2019. I know Nottingham is a very good county and a very good place, but how was the campus? Campus was safe enough?
So my campus was situated a little far away from the city center. It was aloof, but it was safe because there were accommodations there nearby. So there was student support available 24/7. There were teacher support available 24/7. There were many activities in the campus area, and Nottingham is famous for its nightlife, whether be in the city center or be outside the city center. So it was quite safe. nice and warm environment around to do various activities during night time. And mostly the people in the Nottingham are working in the night more rather than the daytime. So yeah, it was lovely. It was a lovely experience. It was safe all around.
Okay, so there were a lot of precautions taken for the safety by the university and local police.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, that's great. That's great. Now, second, again coming back to Bhagyashree, as a girl student, did you face any discrimination in the UK, not just in university, but even outside the university or anywhere?
Most of the time it was only Indians around me, so it was not like that. Even for my course, I remember it was like 50% of Indians for my course, so it was no discrimination at all. And also, I used to stay in the student accommodation, so it was like many of the cultures coming together. Even the staff over there was supportive, and they didn't even like mention something about it anytime. So it was good, and it there was no discrimination at all.
Okay, what about you, Neha? Did you face any discrimination while studying as a girl, or there were any restrictions like come to the accommodation at 7, like before 7 or before 8 or something like that, or was it
No,
quite freedom?
I yeah, I would agree with Bhagyashree. There are majority Indians during the masters there, but we also had people from Nigeria. We had people from China. They were Chinese. So we used to stay in the campus. As I mentioned earlier, my campus was a little away from the city center, and it used to get dark during the winters quite early there. So we were on the campus doing our research work till 9, 10 o'clock. No stress at all, no tension, no worries at all. It was quite safe environment. And when we used to go back to our house or hostels, whoever was staying in the hostels, that was also quite. They were also quite cooperative. There were no strict restrictions that you should be in by this so and so time or you shouldn't go out by so and so time. So it was quite nice. And no, I did not face any discrimination there.
Great, great. Now, again, Neha, to you, we'll be talking about the cultural differences because in girls from India, again, from a family from India, you must have seen some cultural differences between Indian girls and girls from UK.
Yeah.
So, have you made friends over there, UK friends?
Yeah, in my university, because I traveled during the pandemic, so I was not on campus much. I was only in the labs during my lab work. I was doing my assignments from my accommodation or from the library. But yes, I have got so many good contacts from the UK or UK people, not even just the Britishers, but people from China, from Nigeria, from South Africa, whoever come to study there. And also in my work life, I've come across different people from different parts of the world, and it's a lovely environment. You get to understand everything, and the best thing there is they respect your culture. They look up to Indians with great respect and dignity because whatever heritage we carry, whatever culture we carry, yeah. So Indians have given for Indians we get good amount of respect. Yeah, they're treated very well.
That is an honor for all of us.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed an honor.
So, what about you, Bhagyashree? Did you face a cultural difference or some negativity because of cultural differences?
No, because I remember I was staying with like British during my student accommodation life. I used to stay with a Spanish girl, with a Korean girl, and a Britisher. So it was like never no one like mentioned about anything, and they were more likely to learn about India, what are the different parts, how is the culture, and they wanted to learn more about the festivals. They were so interested in the colorful and traditional life of India. Even now, when I'm working, my manager, he's an Italian, so he's so interested in India that he watches some documentaries and he will come to me and ask like, oh, what's this like, and why are you celebrating this festivals and everything. And even when I told them that I'm going for Diwali, I was there for Diwali, and so he was like, what all do you do, how long is the festival, and they are more interested to know about the Indian culture and the Indian festivals. So yeah.
Just to add on that, Indian food is in big demand there. Everyone loves
Yeah.
Indian food.
I guess butter chicken, right?
Yeah.
Something less spicy for them. So because I'd been asked by many people in UK and US about butter chicken. Okay. Okay. So now we will go towards the job, like towards the job aspect of it, because you both have completed your masters and you both are into working culture now. Uh, how difficult was to get a job? So first, maybe to Neha, how difficult was to get a job, and how did you get a job actually?
So I have two stories to it. For finding my very first job, I got it quite easily because I had prior experience from NASIC itself. Plus, my grades were quite good. So I applied for the job. I went for the interview, and I had my the offer letter in my hand. It was with GSK GlaxoSmithKline. It was as clinical development associate. So it was around clinical trials that were done first time in humans. So once a drug is tested in animals, it's tested and passed, and it goes to human trials. So it was the first time in human trial site. So it was all new experience. I've never worked in a first time in human trial site experience. So they did consider me based on my experience, based on the interview questions. And I worked there for around 2 years. After that, my visa, my post-study work visa was about to expire, and the company did not have a sponsor's license. So I couldn't continue my job there. So second situation where I did apply to many jobs. I couldn't get a interview call as well because I had limited number of days on my visa. My visa was going to expire in December 23. On 2nd of December, I went for an interview without any expectations that I would get a job because I don't have visa in my hand. I had my flight booked to India. I was going to come back to India forever. I gave that interview, and within 2 hours post-interview, they called me and said, "Oh, we are offering you a job." And it was a sponsored job by NHS. So it was with Cambridge University Hospitals into clinical trials as data manager. It was a sponsored role. So I did not have to worry about my visa or anything because it was all taken care by the company.
Great.
So I've seen both the side of the story, the positive one and the negative one.
Correct, correct. And like you said, you had lot many Indian girls with you, those who completed their masters from Nottingham Trent. So,
Yeah.
did everyone get a job, or like some girls could not get a job? Like,
So depend on the sector, depend on the education qualification they have. Mostly what I've seen, because I belong to healthcare and pharmaceutical sector, there are loads of jobs available in healthcare. So most of my colleagues or my course mates have got the job. Some of them have gotten, they did not even apply for their post-study work visa. They've directly gotten their tier 2 visa, that is 5 years of working visa. Some of them have to apply to the post-study work visa, get an experience for 2 years, and then switch to a fully sponsored job. So depending on the job, but most of my friends or in known have got the job. Yeah.
so say in pharma sector or healthcare sector.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Bhagyashree, same with you. Like artificial intelligence, machine learning are in demand in UK, right?
Yeah.
How you got this job? Like currently you are on a post-study work visa.
Yeah, I'm on graduate visa right now. And like I was just wandering around applying for graduate roles, applying for junior positions because I didn't have any experience. I just came directly from my bachelor's and to master's, so I didn't have any experience there. So it was quite tough for me because when I used to apply at the beginning, it was like graduate roles, they had different kinds of assessments. I used to crack the assessments but didn't get a call for the assessment centers, and then it was like you're applying for hundreds of jobs every day and still you're not hearing back. So during my part time, actually I just met someone, and there was a security guard and he knew that I was looking for a job, so he just mentioned that girl that she's also looking for a job, and that girl referred me. And that like after 6 months of mailing, I got the reference from her and I got the job there. And now it was like a 3D graphics designing, first of all. So I didn't have any experience in graphic designing, but I knew some of the stuff over there. So it was like, okay, I learned the steps and everything, how it's going to be, because it's a construction firm and I wasn't familiar with the construction background as well. So it was, I had to learn about the construction and then how graphics is implemented. And now I'm working with augmented reality, which is related to my field. So I'm happy that I got the reference from her, and I'm going to complete a year on March 22nd. So I'm happy with the job.
Wow, wow. Now, let's speak about the culture at the job, like basically as a woman or as girls. Bhagyashree, I'll ask you first. Do you face any inequality being a girl or being a female employee at the workplace, or it's equal at the workplace in Britain?
No, it's quite equal, and everyone is served equally over there, because I have many of my female colleagues and they are at a good position as well. And I would like to mention that there are two or three females that I know, they are at director level positions in the company. So it's quite equal for all of them over here.
Okay. And Neha, how is the health industry? Like, I think there are a lot of women employees at health industry.
Yeah, yeah. So the team that I was working with in GSK was with 5 women. We were all women in there, no men. As they say, we were quite supportive, and no one was like, okay, if you don't know anything, they was quite helpful to teach me. They did never made me realize, oh, you don't know, you've never worked in a first time in human trial. So they used to teach me, they used to guide me, we used to help each other, and just teamwork brought global recognition award for us. So I've already received 2 global recognition awards because of the teamwork, because of them. So I wouldn't take the credit myself, because they have helped me achieve that. So they're quite helpful, quite nice, and people in Britain in general are quite welcoming, quite sweet. Um, so yeah,
Okay, great. Congratulations for the awards. You said you
thank
get
you.
times, right?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Now, we already talked about the jobs and your working and your workplace for girls and all. Now it's time to suggest something for the freshers from India. Like there are a lot many girls we meet every day. Like they're aspiring to studying abroad, especially UK and all the stuff. So Neha, what will you advise to the young girls, those who have just completed their bachelor's, maybe and aspiring for studying abroad, especially UK maybe. So what will be your advice to them?
So ground reality is very different. Everyone says that it's quite nice studying abroad. Obviously, it is, but first of all, you have to work on yourself, like mental strength. You should be ready to face the challenges. There are challenges in India. There will be challenges outside. Every country is fighting to be better, right? So you'll have problems here, you'll have problems there, but the thing is, you have to face them anyhow. So you should be ready for whatever situation comes. And anyway, girls are designed that way that they can multitask very well, right? So I think basic uh, things like cooking, cleaning they should practice, because they've just passed out from their bachelor's, right? So they should know at least basic cooking, because it would help you a lot once you travel abroad. I remember my very first day in the UK. I used to never cook in India. I went there. I just unpacked my stuff. The next morning, I went to the kitchen and I realized, oh, mom is not here to make me chai. Mom is not here to make me nasta. So that's what I'm saying. The little things matter. So if they're ready to face the challenges with a smiling face, that's all they need. And then they can conquer the world. Syllabus, studies, everyone can do, but these little things help contribute you, make a better person, survive in another country with so much of cultural difference and the time zone as well. Yeah.
Good, good, great. Bhagyashree, what will you advise the young girls looking for studying abroad in upcoming intakes?
Yeah, so I would like to add to Neha's conversation. Like she said that we need to learn every basic skill that is needed, because even I remember I used to cook before. I liked cooking as well, but still, when you are in a different country, when you are just alone and you are like, what should I cook for myself? And it's like cooking for one person. I started the tiffin service as well, but the tiffin service, I didn't like the tiffin service. They used to serve Indian food, but still, it was like you're getting the continuous repetitions of food, and you're like, no, you cannot. But then you start cooking, you start like emerging yourself, and that helps you. Even like mentioning about the mental stress, while you're cooking, you feel that happiness, your freedom, that you can do anything. So that's really important for us all to like
understand how we are treated, because I remember I'm the most pampered kid in the house. So living here all alone is different for me. But yeah, when you are mentally prepared, you can conquer everything, and that's all important. So it's just important to have your mental stress like on the point, and that's all. You can do anything then.
Great, great. And let's talk about future now. So, Bhagyashree, what are your future plans? Because already you have completed studies, you got a job also, you're working for 1 year almost now. So, what are your future plans?
Okay, so I am applying for new jobs. I'm trying to get sponsorships, but I'm not sure about it because I don't have the experience in the IT sector. It's from the construction sector, so it's like a little bit different. So it's getting along. Like I'm getting the interview calls, but still, I've not been offered a position. So I'm looking for sponsored jobs right now, and if not, welcome to India.
Great.
Yeah.
Because India needs girls like you to come back and contribute to India,
Yeah.
work in different sectors. You can even now contribute to construction sector and work with the corporate construction houses in Mumbai, Bangalore, or somewhere, definitely. And but yeah, we wish you will get a sponsored job soon, and you will continue there. So, but in your, if you get a sponsored job, you plan to continue in the UK, right? Like if everything goes good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are new rules for applying for a skill visa. It would be as a new entrant, I'll get 2 years. So I'll get the skilled worker visa for 2 years now. So it would be after that again, I'll have to get a sponsored visa. So it would be different.
So now you can stay there on skilled visa further. Hello.
No, I have to apply for a graduate like a sponsored visa after I came. Hi, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you now. Okay. Neha. So yeah, coming to you. What are your future plan now, Cambridge? So
Yeah,
Oh,
so
sorry.
yeah, no problem, Bhageshri. So Neha, now we will be working with Cambridge University Health Center, right?
yeah.
We'll be working. So what are
Yeah.
your plans after this great achievement?
So I've seen the corporate healthcare sector already. So my plan was to see the government healthcare now, the NHS, and obviously working with Cambridge University Hospital is a big deal. So I would obviously this I've gotten only 1 year contract, but there are chances the contract would get extended. So I would like to continue and work in the NHS, gain more experience, learn more about it, and then let's see where the path takes. But most probably I'll stay with NHS for long term.
Okay, great. Now coming to Bhagyashree, again I will go back to studies. Now before studies, before you went to UK for studies, maybe 2019 or 2018, like who supported you the most to study abroad, like from India?
It was totally my father. Because I remember my father used to say that after completing my 10th, I had good grades. So he was always like, you're going to study abroad. But his first focus was US. But then, due to time constraint and everything, he was like, no, US would be a longer time to invest. So we can choose a different option. So I got a different option that was UK. And I'm really happy that I chose UK over US. And yeah, my father had supported me every time, and he is still supporting me. And so I'm happy about that.
Strong support from your father to come to the UK.
Yeah.
Even again, ahead, like if you stay in UK, you have someone in India with a strong support.
Yeah.
What about you, Neha?
Yeah, I think it is my father only. I agree to his thinking that if we stay in our comfort zone, we get lazy, we don't grow. So you should leave your comfort zone. And then that's when we came up with the idea that we should go and study abroad because I had studied biotechnology and biotechnology has not still fully flourished in India. It is in boom in the UK. So my father he's still my strongest support. So yeah, father was my strongest support, and secondly was my brother, because I'm the only girl child in my family from my mother and from my dad's side. So if my family support, my brother's support, made me capable to stay there, to survive there during the pandemic. Yeah, so it is always family.
Your family, yeah, they supported you the most.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So overall, Bhagyashree, are you happy with your decision to study in the UK?
Yeah, I'm totally delighted to study in the UK because I remember I had a job offer in Nasik as well, but I was like, I have to study, and if not in India, I would be studying abroad. So I had to take that choice. So I decided, and I'm here. I'm really happy about the choice I made. Like, I never had been out of Nasik as well. My father used to be like so protective about me in Nasik, and so sending me to London totally in a different country. So it was a difficult task, but still he made the decision, and then yeah, everything is going well. Hopefully, it will go well. So yeah, I'm happy about the decision I made.
It will go well. It will surely, definitely go well. Yes, Neha, your decision was perfect because now you are with Cambridge.
Yeah, I packed my bags. I was ready to come back to India. I had no idea that I'm going to get a job back in the UK. And I was in a dilemma, should I accept it, should I not? But yeah, I'm totally happy to go back to the UK, start my new journey with new job, new company again. Yeah.
Okay, now we come to the last question. It's regarding married women in the UK because there are a lot of Indian married women in the UK also. I have some of my students those who are married and they are staying in the UK. So, do you have any married women in your company or somewhere you have seen, like, anybody of you, like, married in Indian women? I'm talking about not married British women, married Indian women. So, whether it is easy for married women to work and balance the family?
Yeah,
Uh, Neha,
sorry.
you go first.
In my master's, we shared one common module together. She was married. She was from Punjab. She did few semesters alone. She was staying all alone. Then later on, she called her husband there on dependent visa. Initially, obviously, for a married woman, it is little difficult to manage both the families, the in-laws family and her own family, while she's away from the country. But she successfully managed to complete her studies, got a job, and they're nicely, happily settled in the UK right now. So yeah, it's not that hard. It's easy for married women because the platform is the same. All the resources are the same. So it doesn't matter if you're married or not. It's all good.
Actually, have you seen any married women working in your company, like where you are working now, or have you seen them? Are there any challenges they face to balance the family?
Yeah, so I have all of the married couples as my friends in the company. And there's one girl that recently joined, and she's on a dependent visa with her husband. So her husband is studying, and she's working at the firm. So it's like difficult for her because her husband goes for night shifts sometimes, and she has to cook because she's a pure vegetarian. She's a Gujarati girl, so she doesn't even eat the garlic food as well. So it's difficult for her because my firm serves food as well, lunch and breakfast, but she cannot have it. So she has to cook. She has to cook breakfast for him as well, for her as well. So she's managing well and she's doing well. Like I remember she saying I have to go home and cook for my husband, and then there's nothing that they can do apart in the week because they have to just focus on their daily life, and there's only Saturday, Sunday that they get together because sometimes he's on the shift. So whenever they get the holidays, they're really happy together, and she's like waiting for Saturdays and Sundays whenever it's the time.
So yeah, maybe you are married, you are unmarried, is struggle for all, right?
Yeah.
Struggle for all. At least for the first few years, there is always a struggle till you get settled. Because I have my students who went to UK 10 years, 12 years before. So now they are well settled, having kids and all. So they have got own houses. own cars. So they are settled, we can say they are well settled. So their struggle period is, they have passed their struggle period now. We can say something like that. Okay, so that was it. That was the small conversation with both of you. It was fantastic. You really, really given a lot of information to all of us, not just me and institution, because we are going to show it to all the students. We are going to put it on YouTube. So definitely all the girls will get motivated, and we are going to show a picture where yes, girls can do it, and girls from Nasik, like as Bhageshri said, she never traveled outside Nasik alone, and then she went all the way to London. Same thing with Neha, your parents and all. So, but yeah, then finally, you really did exceptionally well. You went all the way abroad, and you completed studies, and now you are working. That is something which is very important, because you have done studies also, which is a different struggle, because you have studies plus manage everything. Now you are managing a job responsibility with everything. So yeah, it is struggle managing everything alone. So hats off to both of you, and very happy to meet you both here. Hopefully we'll like to meet you both very soon, when you come for vacations, or whatever. We will definitely interact, we'll definitely meet. So thank you again. And I will ask, yeah, any concluding remarks, Neha, you want to tell? Any concluding remarks, overall event, how you did it, and anything about it?
Yeah, so as we're talking about Women's Day empowerment, and you've asked who was the biggest support. So for empowering women, we need empowering families or friends, and I think that's the key. So we had empowering friends, families, and we had you guys to help us for prepare for IELTS, do all our applications, visa process. That made us achieve whatever we have achieved till now. So big thank you to Akshay Study for helping us when we needed your help the most. And yes, for the people who are going to start their journeys for studying abroad, I'll just wish them all the best. It's a beautiful journey. Start with a smiling face. You'll achieve it. Be ready for all the struggles. Just embrace the journey is what I would say. Ups and downs would come and go. It's a part and parcel of life. But just be ready for it. And I think you'll do it. So all the best for the future students who are planning to go abroad. And I would say Bhageshri hi because I couldn't say hi formally to her. Yeah, I did not know that she's going to join this. We are
Yeah, same.
schoolmates actually.
Yeah, she's my senior actually. I took tips from her to go to UK.
Okay, great. And Bhageshri, any concluding remarks?
Yeah, so first of all, I would like to thank Akshay Study. And based on that, I would like to mention that Jyoti ma'am, when I was applying, she mentioned that you should be ready to do anything, like for part time, for your studies, you should be ready to go for it. And so there was the motivation that started that you have to be positive in every situation, you have to do anything, anyhow, where you have to survive. So it's all upon your motivation and how you're going to take things forward. So I would like to mention all of the girls that somehow you will feel low, you will feel demotivated at times, but then you have to cheer yourself up and go for it and motivate yourself all the time and keep the smiling face, and you will conquer everything. That's it.
So thank you, Bhageshri, and thank you, Neha. It is great, and see you very soon. And all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you. And over to you, Anupa ma'am, for just concluding the session officially.
Yes, thank you so much, girls. I really like the fact that both of you had, story to the job that you have right now. So it's really interesting and inspiring. See, even if it is difficult and challenging to get jobs, I think study abroad experience is something to cherish for your lifetime. So, those girls who are aspiring to take this decision, I think this video is going to be very helpful for them. So, thank you so much for your valuable insights with respect to studies, work, and life overall. And thank you for making it. Okay, and all the very best to your future endeavors. Thank you so much,
Thank you
guys.
for
Bye
having me.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.